Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are having a discussion in Marathi with Shubhada Saxena and Mr. and Mrs. Phadnis. Hello, so happy that you're here. Nice to see you all. So maybe we can talk a little bit about what is the census and why is it important?
I'll say it in Marathi. Is it okay? जनगणना 2020 प्रत्येक कुटुंबाच्या काय काय गरजा असतात, आरोग्य, ह्यासाठी साधन सामग्री व सेवा यांची गरज. आपण तो त्या शहरात ह्या पुरवण्याची गरज आहे. त्याचे व्यवस्थापन आपले शहर करीत आहे. त्यासाठी त्यांना नागरिकांची संख्या समजणे प्राप्त आहे. म्हणून ते एक नागरिकांची यादी तयार करत आहेत. हे काम 10 वर्षात एकदा झालेले पुरे असते. नवीन गणनाचे काम सध्या चालू आहे व त्यात आपण सर्वांनी भाग घेणे आवश्यक आहे. आपल्याला या गणनेसाठी थोडी माहिती द्यायची आहे. या आपण सारे ह्यात सहभाग घेऊन ही मोहीम सफल करूया.
What did that say in English?
It says that each family needs the basic needs like food, shelter, and clothes, good life, and work. And for this, the city has to make the arrangements. And for them to make the arrangements, they have to take account of the families which are there in the particular city. Now, this work is done once in 10 years, which is quite adequate. And the current situation, the 2020 census is on. For this, all of us have to participate. And then only it is possible for the agencies which provide us the facilities and services is possible. So this census is on today and we should all participate in that. Come on, let us take part in the census 2020. Thank you. Namaste.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Shubhada, I can see why you're so smart because of your beautiful parents. This is so wonderful. What would you like to share? What is at stake? So what are some of the ways that the census affects everybody?
Well, for sure, numbers and money are related. The federal government gives us money based on the number of people living in a certain area. That's $1,500 a year. So every person gets counted, brings $1,500 to your area, which means $15,000 in 10 years. So all of these things, money is one way that we provide services, as my dad said, with the city. So we definitely want services, whether we want roads or other services for us. And also the census counts us by our ethnic origin. If we are, for example, Indian, which is our family, and there are certain services for languages or other things get provided because of that. So it's very, very important for us to count ourselves where you live and of what origin you are so that you can get the services for that.
Wonderful. And how safe is it to share the information with the government? There's some people who are concerned about their information.
Yes, I do agree that the situation currently, because of the fact that the citizenship question was added and people were being targeted, some people may be worried about, this information may be used by other systems to target them, but that's actually not the case because our federal constitution requires that this information be kept private and confidential and not shared for 70 years at the very minimum with anything else. So very basic information: where do you live, how many people in your home, and what gender they are. So that's all, and what ethnic origin they are. So you're not really giving any additional information other than your name. So this information will be kept confidential. So there's no reason for fear for it.
And so why is it important that everyone fill out their census right now before May 7th? What happens on May 7th?
Yeah, so current dates for the census are that as of May 7th, if you do not fill this form out, either online or by phone or on paper, somebody's going to come knocking on your door. And that's not a thing you want. You know, especially you don't want strangers at your door at this time, and we have COVID-19 going on. So it's best to finish it as soon as possible and bring our numbers up so people don't have to come to your door and put themselves at risk either.
Fantastic. And who is counted? Who gets to be counted in a household?
Well, everybody, like my parents who are permanent residents, I'm a citizen, anyone who lives in the United States in any part of it, if they live here more than 6 months and 1 day, then they get counted. It does not matter what their legal status or official status is, they get counted because they live here, and that's how services are provided to you.
Okay, fantastic. So it is safe, it is required by law, it is part of the Constitution. We have all of April to complete our census, hopefully sooner rather than later. It draws down federal funding to our community for housing and infrastructure and healthcare and education. And so very, very important. And we have to count everybody in our household, anyone who's been there 6 months and a day. I know so many of us have our families visiting, and or they may be coming for green card reasons. If they are there 6 months or longer, 6 months and a day, to go ahead and count them. Wonderful. So I know you are a very creative family, and you have a very creative way to communicate this idea of the hashtag. So what's the hashtag, and what would you like to share?
Well, the hashtag that we're using, which says "I am counted," which means that I filled out my census and we are all counted. So we're going to say it in multiple ways. My dad is going to say it in Marathi. He's made a sign for it. So Dad, there you go.
माझी गणना झाली. That means I am counted, and I have put it on a sign here.
And Shubhada, oh yes, and then we have it on our hand. I am counted. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Phadnis. Thank you, Shubhada, for being here. And so glad that we're all counted. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.